that because that just makes you a good person and it's going to make you an even better tech. And then he went on to say, people get burned out all the time. That's going to happen regardless of what you do and where you go. Eventually, sometimes people need a change. And when it happens, don't fight it. Accept it, make the change, and do what you want to do and do what you need to do. Which was probably the best advice I had heard all week. Because that is so true. Sometimes people just need a change. I did it before when I changed and decided to become a surge tech. Maybe in the future, once again, I'll need a change. Whether I decide to stay as a tech or not, or maybe I'll just need to change whatever's going on in my life, change my lifestyle. Maybe I need to change employers, go to a different place. Maybe I just need to change scenery, move someplace else. You don't have to fight the change. You accept it. I also was very I noticed back to when I talk about stress, I noticed that all my preceptors they kind of had the same trigger. I call it. Whenever I was in a case, whenever me and a preceptor were in a case where the preceptor had never done it or had never worked with that surgeon, they all of them had the same look on their face, the same exact look, the same tone in their voice. And I noticed and recognized it because it's the same way I felt whenever I was a medic going on a case, because I always felt like I wasn't prepared, 100% prepared, or that I wouldn't be prepared to handle whatever was happening. And I recognized it right away because it's happened multiple times. I even had a case where my preceptor, it's almost like she regressed into a student because she couldn't handle, not to say she couldn't handle, she handled it very well. I think I'm just projecting because I felt like I couldn't handle anything. And we were going through the case, and the whole time the surgeon kept asking for things that we didn't have on the field. So then we'd have to ask for it and wait, and it just rinse and repeat. We didn't have anything that he wanted, and his card was incorrect, and it went that way the whole time. And my preceptor, she even said from the beginning, I've never done this case before, and I've never even worked with this surgeon, so this might be kind of tough. And she seemed very confident. So by the end of the case, I felt like I did a horrible, horrible job because the whole time I didn't have anything that he asked for. And half of the things he did ask for I had never seen because I wasn't used to those particular sets. There were probably 70% of the instruments that were in there I had never seen, or I didn't know what they were called. So when he was asking for stuff, I didn't know what half of the things he was asking for. And then she came up and said, "Oh, I don't even know what half of these things are called." So now I'm really nervous. And then after the end of the case, I felt like I did terrible. And then I turn over and she's like, "Oh man, I did terrible in that case." And I'm sitting there thinking, "What are you talking about? You weren't even scrubbed in. I was the one scrubbed. You were in the back, just trying to get more stuff. I'm the one who, you know, messed up." So maybe no matter how experienced you are, there's no way of sometimes avoiding that kind of stress. And that's something that I had to come to terms with. Even though I'm changing what I'm doing, I'm still going to be in situations where I might not feel like I'm going to be prepared, but you still do the best that you can. And that's why you have people there to help you. If I become a tech, I've noticed sometimes my preceptors, they don't just try to take it on all on their own. They ask for help. They ask the circulator. They're asking them, okay, how's the patient going to be situated? How are they going to be positioned? If there are instruments, they will sometimes ask for help from other techs who have done the case before, or they'll get notes. I've noticed that they'll sometimes get notes. If they're working in a specialty they've never done before, they will get notes ahead of time from another tech who's used to working with that surgeon, so they'll know exactly what they need and when to get something. So that's something that I've never had to do and actually never really thought about before, but it's a good thing to think about. And I also noticed the benefits, of getting to know many of the people that you work with. Not everyone is going to be, I want to say, open or receptive, but at the end of the day, it's team effort. The most important thing you need to remember is what's best for your patient. You got to work with these people, and you might not become best buds with them, but like I said before, they can help you. Throughout the last few months, I've made a pretty decent impression at my clinic sites, and because of that, I've gotten references and people have basically offered to help me, you know. But I have to be proactive. I have to help myself at times. And I can't forget the reasons why I'm here. I had to make a change, and so far so good, it's worked out, but I can't let up. I can't quit. So my last words to you are, if you were like me and sometimes you're questioning, why you're here, reevaluate. You know why you're here. No one else knows why you're here, but you know why you're here. And you know, don't be afraid of making a change if you have to. It might not necessarily have anything to do with Surge Tech or your job, but at home, your home life, because Lord knows I've had a lot of challenges in my home life in the last especially since school started. But it doesn't have to hold you back. And you don't sometimes when you doubt yourself, sometimes it just helps talking it out. You know, because after I got the advice I got, things didn't seem so bad. And I kind of was able to kind of reevaluate my reasons for doing what I'm doing. And I think it'll work out in the end. So that's my journal. Thank you for listening.